Welcome friends to Advanced Option Chain. We are going to start chapter 4 of the series Learning AOC. In this chapter, we'll learn what are the types of support and resistance, how to identify them, and in next chapter, we'll learn how to use this knowledge to place a trade. In previous chapters, we have already learned what are support and resistance, how are they formed, how to identify support and resistance. If you haven't watched that previous videos, please go and watch chapter 2 and 3 to understand what are support and resistance in terms of options data. Basically, support and resistance are of three types in AOC, which are strong, STT and STB. Strong, shifting towards top, shifting towards bottom. If a support is STT, that means the market is under bullish pressure. If support or resistance, both, is shifting towards bottom, that means market is in bearish pressure. Now let's define what is strong support or resistance. A support or resistance that is not going to change position to any other strike price, that is called a strong support or resistance. Similarly, if a support or a resistance which are likely to shift to a higher strike price, that is called STT or shifting towards top. This will create a bullish pressure on the market. Similarly, a support or resistance that is very much likely to shift to a lower strike price, what we call them is a STB support or resistance. That is, the support or resistance is going to shift to a lower strike price, a smaller strike price, which will create a bearish pressure on the market. Now, to identify the type of support and resistance, we follow 4 rules or a procedure or algorithm to find out what kind of support and resistance it is. So, the first step is identify what is the strike price or what are the components that is making side. Next step is to identify the weaknesses, that is yellow boxes corresponding to those volume Y and Y chains on both. Third step is we assume yellow boxes becomes red for resistance, green for support. After that assumption, we check if a yellow box becomes a red box or a green box. Is my support or resistance changing its strike price? Is it going to any other strike price? If it is going to shift to any other strike price, then our support, that may be STT or STB based on the new strike price. If that strike price is a higher strike price, then our support or resistance will be STT. If that strike price is a lower strike price, true. That is, if a yellow boxes we are assuming becomes a red or green box, will it ever become red? To check that, we will check the percentage graph. Where you can find the percentage graph? You can click on the OI of that weakness strike price to find out if the percentage will ever reach 100%. If the percentage graph is rising, that means increasing, it will eventually reach to 100%. So, if that is true, then our support or resistance is STT or STB. If that is false, our support or resistance is strong. Fifth point I have already covered. That is, whenever a strike price, the new strike price that is higher to the current support or resistance, that support and resistance will be called STT. If it is lower, that will be called as a STB. Right? Now let's have some examples. This is Nifty at a backtested date. What are the steps? We'll follow step one by one. First step is identify the red boxes for resistance, identify green boxes for support. Next is identify support weakness on call side and weakness on the red side. Now, the third step, if yellow boxes at 25,000 becomes a red box, then what will happen? Our support will shift to 25,000. This will create STB. In this situation, our resistance will be STB. But the story is not over yet. Suppose volume is going up at 25,000, but at the same time, if OI is coming down, OI change is coming down, our support or resistance will not change its position, which makes it strong. If the strike price of a support or a resistance is not going to change, then that support or resistance is strong. Similarly, if percentage 83% volume weakness is decreasing, that will also make our resistance strong. Similarly, if volume is going down, our support will be STB. If this volume is OI is going down, up, our support will be strong. Now, most important, we need to check the percentage graph to find out what will happen next. Here we are looking at the percentage graph of volume, which is decreasing. Volume is decreasing. This means volume is not going to shift to the higher strike price. Now we do not need to check any other OI or OI change graph, because if volume itself is strong, our resistance is strong. Now, for the support, let's check. If 24,800 volume is increasing, this is not increasing, kind of it's flat and percentage is 76. So volume is not going down. This means our support at 24,900 is strong. At the same time, if you like, you can check OI graph, that is also not increasing or decreasing. In fact, it's slightly increasing. Now it's stable at 91%. This also proves that 24,900 will be a strong support, because support or resistance is not shifting to any other places. So our support is strong. For this video, let's keep it here. In the next video, we'll see table of trade. That is the heart of option chain. That is the heart of advanced option chain, which will grant you up to 80 to 85% of your trades. And if you can master table of trade, that is basically from where you can buy, from where you can sell. If you like this video, please like, share and subscribe to the channel. Leave your valuable feedback. We'll see you in the next chapter. Thank you for joining in.